Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. So we are on to do some pick a card readings. And yeah, so let me find this and make sure that it's working. If you hear a child in the background, my daughter is highly excitable today. Okay, perfect. Hello, hello, everyone. So today we're going to do some pick a card readings on messages from deceased loved ones or ancestors. So if you are watching this on my Facebook page, please feel free to like my page and follow me there. If you are watching this live on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe to my channel so you can watch all these lovely pick a card readings, which I do once a week. Hello, Amber. So yes, we're going to do pick a card readings on messages from deceased loved ones and ancestors. So I'm going to throw the image up and you guys can comment which image you're drawn to, and then we'll jump into the readings. So that is what we got. So comment 1, 2, or 3 in the comments. Let me know what reading you are drawn to. I'm going to try something. Oh, that's not what I want to do. There we go. That's better. Okay. Hello, Jess. Hello, 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 Indigo Child. Cool, cool. Okay. So we're going to take this off and we're going to jump in. So let me pull the banner up here, which was what I was trying to do earlier. So we're going to jump into this. So we're going to start with pile number 1. I've already pre-shuffled everything, and that just makes it easier so you guys aren't sitting here watching me shuffle. So we're going to start with pile number 1. So for pile number 1, what we had coming up, we have friendship. We have the Tower card reversed. We have the Hierophant reversed. We have the Sun card reversed. with the Lovers reversed, with the Four of Swords upright. Those all came out together. And then we had the Six of Pentacles reversed as well. So what I got for this, as soon as I pulled this, the message was that I feel like your guides and your ancestors, I feel like for a lot of this, they're talking about not necessarily messages they have for you, but how they're going to help. So I also had a collective another message come out that they wanted me to give everybody, which I'll do at the very end. But for pile ones, I feel like the messages your ancestors and deceased members have for you has to do with friendships. I feel like they were showing me that they were bringing in new friendships for you. Okay, they were really trying to help bring in your guides. I don't want to say guides. I keep wanting to say guides. Your ancestors, your loved ones are bringing new people into your lives for you. And that's the message I have. They are bringing people in. However, with these cards that I got, with the Tower card reversed, with the Hierophant reversed, all of these cards were reversed. So whatever people they're bringing into your life right now could quite literally turn your world upside down. I feel like these people that are being brought into your lives by your deceased loved ones and by your ancestors are people who are very very connected to your soul's growth and your soul's development. They could be soul mates in the sense that they are part of the soul group that you reincarnated with. And they are meant to, they've made contracts with you to help brighten your world, but also to help you in your own growth and development. I got it from this friendship card. I got a lot of like sun card vibes, and the sun card came up reversed in this as well. But I feel like they're definitely pulling in people to help brighten your life, but not only to do that, but to show you your friendships, like what friendships you have existing in your life right now that are good for you and what ones aren't. The reason why the people that are being pulled into your life or being brought into your life from that deceased loved ones and ancestors are sending into your life that are going to kind of turn your world around. The reason they're going to turn your world upside down, or it may seem like that, is because they're going to reflect a lot of stuff at you. Okay. I feel a lot of reflection. Like you guys for pile ones, I feel like you guys are not people who really can sit and reflect themselves. A lot of your epiphanies, a lot of your things that come to your realization are brought to you from people outside of you, from external people. So you look at people and you're like, and somebody will come up to you and say they see this, or they'll come up and say something, and then it'll click, like they're right. You know what I mean? Whereas you're not the type to kind of sit with yourself and dig into yourself that way. A lot of the things that are revealed about yourself are brought into you from other people, from external sources. And that's because that's just the way you reflect yourself. That's the way you've chosen to reflect yourself. Some people can connect really well with themselves. Other people's, they connect better with other people, and then people mirror that back to them. And I feel like this is the case. You are having your ancestors, your deceased relatives, they're sending people into your life right now. And these are good people. These are people who will light up your life, but it's going to be a little tumultuous. I feel like these are people who will tell you things, who are not afraid to call you out on your bullshit. They are people who will reflect the stuff you need reflected at you. They will tell you when you're making stupid decisions. They will tell you when you're on power trips. They will tell you when you're beating yourself up over shit and you're being, and they'll tell you it point blank. There will be no like sugarcoating it. Okay. But I feel like these people are legitimate. And even though they may come in and they may turn everything upside down, they may get you thinking about things, they may seem like they kind of spin everything on their head. This is for a good thing. This is a good thing, okay? They kept showing me opposites, and as I was pulling these cards and reflecting on this, I was seeing oppositions in astrology, and if you know anything about astrology, oppositions represent balance, right? But you often get balanced by opposites, right? Black and white is balance. You can't have the day without the night. They create balance, but they're polar opposites of each other. So a lot of times we'll have people who are polar opposites come into our lives to help us create balance. However, this balance isn't created easily. Oppositions are not easy things to work with. Okay, when we meet people who are polar opposites, it takes us a while to see things from their perspective, because a lot of times there's that resistance and that pull against things where we just want to kind of pull away from them. There's that natural tendency to pull away from people who are our opposites, and there's a lot of tension sometimes between that as well. But if you can learn to work with that energy and you can learn to see things from their perspective, it can create a balance, right? It can help you balance things out within yourself. I feel like a lot of the people coming in that are being sent to you from your ancestors, from your your deceased family members to help brighten up your life are to help to show you real friendships, because I feel like a lot of you have um friends who are using you, friends who are taking advantage of you, a lot of toxic relationships in your life right now. And these people are going to come in and they're going to show you a whole other way of looking at things, a whole other perspective of things when it comes to your friendships and your relationships and how you connect with people. And once you see that and you see things from that perspective, your whole outlook on your friendships and your current relationships with people right now is going to shift and it's going to change, and then you're going to start axing people out of your life that are no longer vibing with you. You're going to be able to see the toxicity in the relationships that you have currently. Does that make sense? Oh, Yvonne, love you too. Yes. So, yes, for pile ones, your ancestors, your deceased loved ones are telling you like you really need to reassess your friendships and your connections with people right now. You have a lot of toxic connections, but they are helping you and they are guiding you in this by sending in people who are going to legitimately be there for you, who are legit true friends. And part of friendship that a lot of people don't understand is that friends will tell you shit even if it hurts. They'll be blunt with you. They'll be upfront with you. They're going because they want to see you be the best version of yourself that you can be, right? True friends really want to see you grow. They want to see you excel. So they will come in and they will, like, sometimes they'll tell you things out of love that will hurt, but it's the truth, and they say it because they want to bring it to your realization so that it can change. And I feel like that is the type of people that spirit is bringing in, but this will turn your world literally upside down. Okay, they're going to come in with a whole different perspective from you. They're going to come in and they're going to cause you to see things from a whole different perspective just from being in their energy, from the things they say. They're going to point shit out to you, and you're probably not going to like them at first. But I think as time goes on, you'll see how they balance you out and how you'll be able to see things from their perspective, and that will balance things out within yourself because they're going to call you out on a lot of your shit. Okay. And this is just going to help you with your personal development as well. And as a result, once you start associating with better friends and better people, you'll see the other people in your lives that are toxic and aren't so good. You'll be able to see them in a different light, right? You'll be more aware of what positive relationships are versus what negative relationships are, and you can clear out the negative. It's like they're shining a light on all these these relationships for you to help you figure out what's negative and positive, or what is working better for you to your highest good and what isn't, by bringing in people that mirror this energy. Makes sense? Okay. So we're going to move on to pile two. they really, pile ones really, they want you to look at your friendships right now. And they're bringing people in to help you with this. I feel like our ancestors and our deceased loved ones, they very rarely don't they they very rarely sit back and watch things. Usually they have their hands in things in some way, shape, or form. Um, so that's why I said when I feel like these aren't just messages, these are also how these people are helping you and how your guides and or your ancestors and your deceased loved ones are influencing your life and helping you to do things a little bit better. So for pile twos, we had two oracle cards come out. We had the psychic abilities card come out, and then we had the home card come out reversed. The tarot cards that came out was the Queen of Cups. We had the King of Pentacles. We have the Empress. And then we also had the Page of Cups reversed. So I feel like for some of you, there's a few different scenarios going on. Okay. So for some of you, the first thing I got hit with was star seeds. Okay. So the first thing I got hit with was star seeds. So if you chose pile two, you might be somebody who who has a hard time, who is looking to connect with their lineage, their heritage, or whatever. But I feel like you literally, this is not your home. Earth is not your home. So for some of you, you are star seeds, meaning you have lived previous lives on other planets in the solar system. You are from other star galaxies. A lot of star seeds reincarnate on Earth to help with the evolution of Earth, to help humanity evolve. We are not necessarily we're here to experience things ourselves, but part of our soul's mission and our soul's contract is to help people and help humanity evolve, right? But I feel like for a certain group of pile twos, you guys have always felt like Earth is not your home. You have always felt like like you just don't belong here, right? So a lot of you are starting to search for and make connection with you're starting to work on your psychic abilities and opening up of your third eye in hopes of connecting with your ancestors, with your guides, to figure out where it is you come from. Right, you're looking, I feel like some of you, there really is no message here other than your guides are with you. But the way that your ancestors and your loved ones are going to talk to you is through channeling messages and through pulling in messages, because your loved ones and your deceased your ancestors don't reside here in the earth. This one goes out bigger than that. Okay. A lot of for the other half of the pile twos, this was a message of needing to open psychic abilities. So if you're a pile two and this part resonates with you, your loved ones and your ancestors could have been witches or psychics, kind of had psychic abilities in it may run in your family, it may run in your heritage. However, you're not secure with this. So what I was getting for some of the pile twos is that the home doesn't necessarily represent what we call home, physical earth. It represents security, right? Our home is where we grow up. It's where we feel most safe and where we feel most secure, even as adults, right? Home is our sanctuary. Some of you of pile twos, you don't feel secure with your psychic abilities. They're there, but you're very, very, very insecure about using them. So the message from your guy, or not your guides, your ancestors and your deceased loved ones is that these abilities are here. They want to come in and help guide you to develop these abilities, to learn how to master these abilities, to learn how to use and utilize these abilities. These psychic abilities are very powerful when it comes to manifestation, okay? So they want to come in and they want to help you nurture you, in order to help you to understand your full abilities, in order to help you learn how to master these abilities, use them. Earth is about using things and utilizing things. So they're coming in and they're saying you have these abilities, but your own insecurities is stopping you from utilizing them, is stopping you from learning them and growing with them and developing with them. They want to come in and they want to help you work past this, okay? And they can help you work past this. You guys have, for some of for some of my pile twos, you guys have this amazing ability to, like I said, manifest. What jumped out was this ruin that's on her shield. And usually this is Venus that's drawn on the shield, but this one is the rune. And what this rune symbolizes to me is seeds. It's growth and development. One X is below the surface, one X is above the surface, right? So it is the seed that's below the surface being planted that is grown up and developed into something bigger above the surface, right? It's that little seed that grows into a big tree. Right? But it takes time to grow and develop. But the potential to manifest something from something is there, right? The potential to visualize things in your mind and manifest what it is you're thinking, what it is you're seeing, all that stuff is there. But you're not confident with that ability, and they want to help you. They're telling you that it is time to grow that ability. It's time to learn more about that ability so that you can master it and you can use it for purposes that it needs to be used for. You can use it to help manifest things, um, both within your life and within the collective. For some of you, like I said, for some in pile twos, I feel like the message is you guys don't feel like you belong to Earth or Earth is your home, because it is not. And your ancestors and your deceased loved ones are coming through to really emphasize that, to help you find your home, to help you find your point of origin. They are helping you to work with and discover where it is you come from and where your actual lineage stems from, because I feel like for a lot of you, it's not Earth. For some of you, you are star seeds and it is not Earth. And we are taught very much in this right now that our lineage is traced back through just this lifetime. Like, I don't know how many witches I've come across that are like, oh, I'm a like 10th generation witch, because the generation in the family line you're born into in this life goes back so many generations. And I disagree with them. I'm like, you are not any generation witch, because that's just this life. This is just the lifetime you were born into. But this lifetime is not the only lifetime a lot of us have lived, and nobody takes in past lives. Nobody takes into consideration the previous lives that we have lived. You may have, this could be your very first incarnation as a freaking, okay, I'm going to say this nicely. So for some witches, it's, I find it funny because they're like, I was born into families. The reason why some witches were born into families with such long lineage is because this is their first lifetime as a witch, and they need families with so much knowledge to help them learn, because they are new to this, quite literally. So saying that you were born into a family with such a big lineage of witches means nothing to me, because I'm looking at your soul. I'm looking at previous lifetimes you've had. I know for a fact, through all my past life information I've gathered about myself, through my own meditations and information other people have given me, I have been a priestess of many men in many of my lives. I have practiced magic. I have practiced witchcraft. So I look at these people and I'm like, it doesn't mean anything, because this could be your first incarnation. Maybe you incarnated with a family that has had so much experience in witchcraft because you're still learning it. But nobody takes that into consideration, right? So you really need to, if you want to know where your soul comes from, sometimes we need to expand out beyond that. And if you are pile twos, part of the pile twos are learning to expand out beyond that. Their deceased loved ones and their ancestors are helping them reach beyond that, because their souls do not originate from Earth. And I know that's going to sound really weird for some of you, but that's kind of how it goes. For my pile threes, there was a lot of cards that came out for pile three. So I'm going to summarize a lot of this. So pile threes, we have grieving that came out. We also had the Ace of Pentacles come out reversed. And along with that, we had the Nine of Wands. We had the High Priestess. And then we had the Three of Wands reversed. The next card that came out, hold on. We had the Eight of Pentacles come out. And along with that, we had the Two of Pentacles reversed. We had the Page of Swords reversed. We had the King of Wands. And we have the Ten of Swords along with the Knight of Cups and then the Ten of Swords. So those all came out together. Again, a lot of information here. And then we had the Three of Cups come out along with the Moon card. So those came out together. And then we had the Temperance card come out. So what I'm seeing for this, for my pile threes, you guys are going through a point of grief. Okay. And grieving is normal. Whenever something changes, with this Eight of Pentacles here, whenever something changes, we lose something and something else is gained. Everything, we're always going through this cycle of in with. They keep telling me in with the new, out with the old, right? And I feel like that's just throwing the cycle out there, right? Everything, there are always things going out and always things coming in. If we didn't take things out, things didn't leave, new things wouldn't have room to come in, right? I like to use the analogy of a closet. We only have so much space for things. Sometimes we need to clear things out because much like a closet that only has so much space, if we keep stuffing stuff in it, eventually it's going to become so full that we can't put any more in it. And then we have to go through what's in it and get rid of the stuff that we're not using and the stuff we no longer need so that we can make room to put more stuff that we are using and that we do need into that closet, right? Same with our lives. There's always things coming in and coming out. And as things go out, it's normal to grieve that because it leaves an emptiness. It leaves an empty feeling with us. And that in itself is grief, right? We mourn the loss of something. That's normal. I feel like pile threes are really feeling this grief. They're really feeling this loss. With the Ace of Pentacles coming up reversed, you guys are really feeling it. Really feeling it. I feel like you guys have lost a lot. I feel like this could be a person or this could be a thing. It could, okay. So for me, the way I seen it was the pentacles represented physical people, right? Or like tangible people you can touch, the people who live, or they represent physical things in their lives. Either way, these things are coming. There's a lot that's left your life, whether this be a person that has left your life, or people, or things. Like it could be money, it could be possessions. You could have lost your house recently. You could have lost a child recently. You could have lost a loved one recently. Whatever the case may be, I feel like there's definitely something that has been lost. You guys have lost a lot. And I feel like this loss didn't come easily. Like whatever was lost was fought for sure. And it didn't really, like, you guys might have fought for it. If it's some like physical thing, like you guys fought to keep it. If it is a person, this person fought to stay alive. I feel like there was definitely, they did not cross over without a fight, right? they had definitely held on for as long as they could. I don't feel like it was an aggressive fight, but they stayed here for as long as they knew they possibly could because they didn't want to leave, right? And then it came to that point where they just embraced that this was their time. It was time to go. It was time to leave. So you guys have lost a lot, but your ancestors and your loved ones are really coming through saying that they're helping you through this grieving process. They are also wanting to remind you that everything is cycles. Everything that is meant to be in your life will be in your life. Everything that is meant to leave will leave. People have contracts. When we come into this incarnation, we sign contracts before we even incarnate, right? Everything, even if you don't believe in incarnation, okay, that the way they were showing me is we go through this process. When you turn the 8 on its side, okay, so 8 is 2 circles above each other, right? One below and one above. When we turn it on its side, it becomes the infinity symbol. The infinity symbol is the energy that keeps going and going, right? We are born, we live our life, we die, we go up to the spiritual realms, and then we're reborn again. Every faith, I have not come across any faith that does not, yet, anyways, that does not believe in a rebirth of some sort. Whether you believe in reincarnation, whether you believe in the resurrection, whether you're Christian and you believe you come back to a paradise on earth and you're resurrected into a new body, that's a rebirth, right? Regardless of how you look at it, almost everybody believes in some sort of rebirth. I know there are people who do believe that once you're dead, you're dead. But I mean, even science believes in rebirth, as an energy is never destroyed. It's not created, it's not destroyed. It just keeps looping around, right? It just changes form. So they want you to remind you of that. Everything has its timing and its purpose. And we may not understand why things leave or why people leave, but we have to trust the process. We have to trust that things and people leave when they are meant to. And that's what they're really, really emphasizing, um, that there's a cycle to things. And that everything ends. They want to remind you that everything ends when it's meant to. So this isn't a premature thing. I feel like for some of you, especially with this Ace of Pentacles coming up, for some of you, you feel like it ended before it even started, or it ended when it wasn't meant to end. Trust me, it was meant to end. This person was meant to move on, or this object, or these people, whatever it is that you're grieving the loss of, they were meant, or it was meant to end, whatever it is. We have the Three of Cups as well. So the other thing that they want to remind you of is stop focusing on the negative. So many times we grieve, and what is grief caused from? What is grief caused from? Grief is caused from loss. What do we focus on when we experience loss? What creates this feeling of loss? The focus on the fact that we no longer have it. It is not there, right? When we know that we no longer have a person in our lives, when we no longer have a physical object, when we no longer have a home, when we no longer have a family, right? We know that it's gone. The lack of its presence. We see it as gone. That's what causes the grief. The fact that it is no longer there. But it is. That's the other thing. Energy doesn't die, it just changes form. They want us to stop focusing. They want you to stop focusing on the negative of things. We can choose to, we have a choice. We can choose to focus on the loss, or we can choose to focus on the good things. Okay? We can choose. The choice is completely ours, and that's what they want you to know too. Everything is a cycle. Everything dies. Everybody dies. There's a purpose for it all. Divine timing, the infinity symbol, right? But instead, a lot of times we get stuck in this grief because we're focusing on everything we've lost instead of focusing on everything we gained. There's happiness from this. The way it was shown to me, the way my guides were showing it to me and explaining it to me was like a little kid with a teddy bear. Have you ever seen a child with like their favorite toy or their favorite like blankie or anything like that and how they get so attached to it and then they outgrow it, right? The teddy bear gets beat up and torn apart and the stuffing's falling out of it, and or their blanket becomes too small and they can't use it anymore, and then they get upset. The reason they get upset is because they no longer have it. They realize that that thing is no longer there or it's not the same, right? Changes. It's not the same. It's no longer there in their mind. It's not the same thing. But what would benefit us so much more is focusing on the positive. If we could encourage our kids and even do this ourselves, instead of mourning the loss of something, celebrating the life of something. In ancient times, they never used to have funerals in the sense that we do now. They didn't mourn. Funerals were never held to mourn the loss of someone. They were held to celebrate their life. And there are a lot of countries that still celebrate death as a part of life, right? It's a cycle, it's to be celebrated. Their life, their death is meant to be celebrated, not mourned, right? And they want you to understand they're helping you through this by helping you realize that this is a cycle, by bringing forth this message that this is a cycle and that you don't have to be stuck in that grief. You can choose to remember the positives. So there's a lot of people that come to me, really upset about past loved ones. And the advice I always give is hold on to the memories you have of them. It's not about it's not about the pain. It's not about the fact that they're not here anymore because they're energetic. They just don't have a physical body. That's the other thing with the Three of Cups. They're still around you. They're still supporting you. That energy is still there, but it's not physical, right? It's in a different form. Um, but they're still there, and a lot of times I see emotions as like memories too. Water has a memory, right? And this is why the moon is attached to our memories as well. um so holding on to positive memories, times when that person made you happy, times where you cried out of happiness, times where you felt joy, times when you to celebrate that person instead of mourning them. I'm going to tell you now, people don't want to be mourned. I have not met a spirit that has come to me yet that wants people to sit and wallow over the fact that they're not here anymore. They don't. We think they do, but they do not. They want us to move on with our lives. They want us to remember the happy times they had with them and the things that they gave us. They want that. They do. They don't want you sitting, your ancestors, your deceased loved ones, they don't want you sitting around wallowing. They understand that grief is a natural process we go through, but they do not want you stuck in this. And a lot of us get stuck in it. A lot of us. And we deprive ourselves of so much joy and positivity from that. Instead, integrate it. Understand. So we have the Temperance card, and the Temperance has to do with Sagittarius energy, but it also has to do with integration. And what I got from this was understanding that energy doesn't die, it just transforms, it changes forms. And the lessons, the experience that they gave us while they were here, or the experience you got from that thing, right? That is what we need to integrate. The lessons we learned from it, the experiences we had. They were in our lives, whether these be people or things, for reasons. We need to integrate that instead of mourning the fact that it's not there because it's completed its purpose and it's moved on. We need to accept that that is a part of the cycle, and that even though they aren't, that item may not be in our lives physically anymore, or that person might not be in our lives physically anymore, the energy is still very present in our lives through the experiences we had with it, through the memories we have with it. That energy is still there, and we need to integrate that. They also want you to understand that, sorry, this is a really deep one. They also want you to understand that people are connected. They, even though we die and we leave our physical vessels, energy is always connected. We are still connected to them. That connection, just because they change form, does not break. Um, there, okay, where did you want me to go with that? Oh, yes, mirrors. So a lot of times, too, other people come into our existence, like I said, with pile ones where they were having people brought into, and I was talking about the mirrors. People are brought into our existence to help bring in things we either lack or to help bring out things that already exist within us that maybe we feel we lack because we aren't aware of them, right? They bring in this stuff, but it is all already within us because we're all connected. So whatever they bring to you already exists within you because it's the same energy. You and them exist from the same energy. We all come from the same source. Whether you believe we were made in the creation of God, whether you believe we came from source energy, whatever the case may be, we all came from one source, right? Whatever that source's name is differs very from person to person, but we all came from one source, right? We all came from one energy. We all share an energy. What exists within you exists within me. So that person that you are wallowing over, not to diminish the grief we feel, but a lot of times we get stuck in the grief because we feel like they're gone, but they're not gone because their energy is still part of us. Their energy is intertwined with ours. Intertwined with ours, one energy. Right? And this is the other thing that they want you to understand. I think the big message is, if you've lost a loved one and you were pulled to pile number 3, the big message is they're still around. They're still supporting you, but they do not want you focusing on the loss. They want you focusing on the good memories and the positivity and the joy of life. They want you happy. They want you moving forward. If this is a thing that you have lost, this could be a home, anything like that. They also want to remind you that it is not lost. The experience was there and it brought in that energy, and that energy is part of you. Okay. So you can call on that memory and it will bring up that same emotion as if you physically had the item. Okay, same with people. You can focus on the memories of these people and it'll bring up the same emotion as if they were physically here, because the way our body works is it brings us back to that moment. That's why trauma is so powerful when we don't heal it, because we don't see the present moment. Somebody comes up and triggers us traumatically from a trauma that we had, and our body, our minds don't understand that this isn't the present happening to us. This has occurred and it's all done and over with. Well, our body doesn't understand that. It acts as if it is occurring now. So if we can pull up positive memories, our body is going to react to that positivity instead of the negativity. Okay? So that's what they want you to understand and know. Hopefully that was helpful. So that is that. Hello, hello. Okay, so guys, I was not doing personal readings. If you want a personal reading, give me a second and I will type in where you can get a personal reading. Just give me a second here. I got to. So, ah, okay, give me a second because my phone's being gay. I'll leave. My phone hates me today. If you guys want a private reading, I'll copy and paste the link to my Etsy shop because this is just being ridiculous with me today. I don't know why every time. I know. Okay. Let me. This is the link to my Etsy shop where you can look at all my readings. All my readings are there for you all. So, if you guys are interested in the collective pick a cards that I just did, the replay will be up. So I encourage you to watch the replay. I am not doing individual readings today. Oh, and before I go, they're going to yell at me if I don't do this. There was a other message too that came through. So I had a bunch of oracle cards fall out as I was shuffling the oracle cards, and I want to give you guys the message that came through with that as well. We have clarity coming out, financial health, finding came out reversed, strength came out, as well as courage reversed. The message that came through with this was a lot of people are seeking clarity right now. There's so much going on in the world right now. Things are shifting, things are changing at a very, very rapid pace. And I got this because things shift and things are changing, that it's really, really hard for people to know which direction they need to be going in, because what may seem like the right direction one minute doesn't seem like the right direction the next minute. And a lot of people are really wanting clarity. We're wanting to know what is expected of us, where we're supposed to be heading, what we're supposed to be doing, right? For some people, this clarity is going to be around different things. For some people, they're looking for clarity around their finances and their health. For other people, they're looking for clarity around their partnerships. I feel like for some people, particularly, they're drawing in partnerships and they're running into difficulties with that, and they're looking for clarity on how to overcome these obstacles. Other people may be running into difficulties within existing relationships, and again, looking for clarity on how to overcome these obstacles. Other people are looking for clarity on how to step up and be the leaders that they're being called to be, how to be strength for other people as well, how to provide that strength to the world. Other people are looking for clarity on how to actually step into their own power, and find the courage that they need to make it through this world. There's several different people who are looking for different things. The advice that came through was that with this was clarity comes from within ourselves. when I looked at this, I seen like a glass ball, a crystal ball kind of thing. I also seen a bubble. So this indicated to me and showed me that for those of you seeking clarity, it's a good time to go within, to cut yourself off from the world, because right now we're being super influenced by a lot of things happening in the external world. So people are coming to us, they're telling us things, they're approaching us, we're hearing things on, on the internet, we're reading things through social media, we're watching television, we're getting ads thrown at us, all this stuff, things are getting thrown at us from friends and family. There's all sorts of stuff coming at us from all different directions, from tons of external different sources. In order to find the clarity we seek, all the answers lie within ourselves. We need to be able to connect with ourselves. Okay, so you need to cut yourself off from all these sources, unplug from social media, even for a little bit a day, like an hour a day, where you just turn the TVs off, you unplug different things, you take some time to disconnect from things. That is what is needed. We need to shield ourselves off and go within ourselves. When I see the crystal ball represents skyring to me. And if you've ever skied, you'll know what I mean. So skyring is like on TV and shows where you see like the witches with the big crystal balls, and they look into the balls and they see things, right? The crystal balls act as a mirror of sorts. You can do skyring with water, you can do it with mirrors, like black mirrors. Um, some people paint mirrors black. Some people use stones like obsidian to skyer with. You can do it with candles, flames, fire. There's several different things that you can skyer with where you look into. If you've ever been around a campfire and sometimes you see different things within the flames, that's a version of skyering too. You can do it through crystal balls and use different crystals. It's done in so many different ways. But the concept of it is to go within yourself. And as you stare at this, you're going to see different images, because what is being projected on that stuff, what you are seeing, is actually coming from in your mind, right? It's your mind's way of helping you perceive different things. It's your mind's way of helping you reflect. So when I see that people just need to reflect. They need to go within themselves. You guys need to, we're at a point in time where the answers lie within us. So many of us are questioning ourselves and not having faith in ourselves. And it's time to start having faith in ourselves. It's time to stop allowing ourselves to be so influenced by external sources and to follow our own inner guidance, our own inner truth, our own, to follow ourselves and what we know to be true. So that is the message that came through as well. So that is it for messages. I hope you guys enjoyed this. The replay will be up. So if you want to go back and watch this, if you joined in a little bit later and you want the reading you picked, so I threw a graphic up. It was 1, 2, or 3. You just comment which one you were pulled to, and I will put the timestamps up for also each of the readings so you guys can find them easily. And yeah. If you guys want private readings, I did put the link to my Etsy shop. I do private readings through there, so you can get a private reading with me through there if you are interested. And I will see you guys all next week in the next pick a card reading. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and bye for now.